Hey folks, welcome back to the VIA Pinstriping page. If you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for watching. So today I kind of just wanted to respond on the question of folks generally ask if they watch my videos, what are you painting on? It happens quite a bit, and I always sort of have to explain because I have to remember what I was painting on at that moment. So I decided to go ahead and just make a video on this topic, kind of explaining the things I paint on. So it's fairly simple. I like to paint on flat stuff. I like darker backgrounds. But folks, it's really not complicated. I go for the absolute cheapest thing I could find. And I like flat things because they save space, right? I can have, for example, 10 things stacked up here. And it's taking up no more space than this piece of furniture that I did not actually put together. So let's make a quick explanation. Right, so these are blank on one side, and on the other side, beware of dog signs. These are plastic. I've actually never painted on these things before, but this is an example of stuff that I would go for. Why? Because they were 99 cents each at Harbor Freight. And I try to find the smoothest ones I could find. Now, of course, I can do my regular old design on the back, or I can, put a funny slogan on this. Exit dummies only or something, or, exit good-looking people or whatever. You got some private. I actually didn't read what was on here because I was going for what was the nicest background because I'm actually expecting to use the backside of these. And they got nice holes already drilled into them. So they were 99 cents each, right? Just to give you an example. Private property, warning, security cameras. This is 10 panels, folks, for $10. I mean, plus tax, obviously. So that's one option, right? Put that off to the side. The next option is this. I did a video on. It's one of my most recent videos, right? And I was playing around with my signature there. This is a piece of wood that was part H of some furniture. This was probably, I think, part of what we're using as a TV stand, basically a small cabinet. I generally try not to go for stuff so thick, but somebody purchased this, and I did tell them exactly what it is, so they know that they're getting basically a piece of cabinet. It does have my artwork on it, and it is extremely sturdy, so at least they don't have to worry about it. Well, I don't have to worry about it bending or flexing on the way to wherever the destination is. So again, free. This was cost me nothing. And here is a more example. This is an example of something that you can actually purchase. Not necessarily the background, because the background was painted by a good friend of mine by the name of Lurch. He's a great pinstriper. A great custom painter. He's learning to pinstripe. A great custom painter, Lurch. I wish I could remember his Instagram at the moment, but his name is Lurch, something Lurch on Instagram. Anywho, that's his nickname. He painted this for me. He did all this automotive flake. And I did the leaf, and I'm working on the design. But what this is an aluminum composite panel, I think it's called. I think it's got a few names that I've seen. So I got a bunch of these also for free when I went on a panel jam to Nauvoo, Illinois. And believe it or not, these were all yellow. And I think that's one of the reasons I was able to get it for free. You see that? Here, actually. There's actually a word here. Comp Bond, aluminum composite panel. Let me show you what this thing used to look like. This is just a sort of a little protective cover film that you find on these things. Kind of a pain in the butt to peel, but you see that? Bright, annoying yellow. Yellow is not my favorite color to pinstripe on. I like dark colors because I think pinstriping shows better. But I did do a pretty fun Wu-Tang Clan themed thing on this, and this is about the only thing I could think of to do on a yellow panel. So there you have it, folks. I will literally pinstripe on anything that's flat. When I first started, I did practice on glass a lot. Glass because it was reusable, and it's fairly slick, so it's kind of hard to control on, which forces you to do a little better. I had some window cling tint that I used for my windows of my bedroom. I was trying to darken my windows, and I noticed it was this really pretty black, shiny. So I just stuck it on here, right here on this drafting table, and I did a design. I ended up throwing them away, but it was a fun practice because it was dark the way I like it. It was flat, and I was able to make a video on there. So, I even have a decent amount of videos where I use just cardstock, where it was shiny cardstock that I ordered from Amazon. 25 sheets for whatever amount of money. So whatever you can get, folks. You don't have to overcomplicate these things. And the reason I say this is because, yes, you do, if you absolutely can get your hands on something that has been painted with automotive paint, that is awesome. But sometimes people are going to bring you leather objects to pinstripe. Sometimes people are going to bring you a rust bucket. So to understand how to pinstripe on various textures, I think is good. So it's good to practice on damn near anything. Wood grain is really difficult. Heck, here's another thing. I'm coming back. Record. These things are a pain in the butt to pinstripe on because of these grooves. So it forces you to not reduce so much. This is Michael Jackson's Thriller. I didn't realize that. But somebody gave this to me to do some artwork on it. And they said, just give it on back to me and whatever. So, you never know. Somebody's going to hand you a record. If you only work on pristine, automotive painted objects, you're never going to understand how to work on these rough things. So when I pinstripe, I go for flat stuff and anything that's cheap. If possible, even free. So luckily, I am now into the point in my pinstriping career that I am getting to know some really awesome painters and airbrushers and stuff like that. And we're able to trade services, or even just be cool with each other, to where if they want something, I'll do it for them. And if I end up with some of these panels, maybe I can give them some of them panels and they could paint them for me, or whatever. Last time I had a fella, my friend Enos, came by and had me pinstripe a skateboard. Well, I did it at a reduced price, and I had another skateboard laying around. I said, "Here, Enos, if you could take this for me and paint it for me, any color, whatever color you have left over. I don't need no patterns. I don't need no flake, and just whenever you can get it back to me, get it back to me. Literally no pressure. I got all sorts of stuff to paint on." So that's the way I treat these things, because it's just art. I mean, if it sits around here, it doesn't take up much space. If somebody was to purchase this, at least it's flat and it's not this giant helmet or saddlebag or, fender. It's not like this multi-$100 thing to ship. These things are probably $40-$50 to get to the other side of the U.S. You want to package it right. So hope that answers the question. I know it was a little bit long-winded, but pinstripe on whatever you can get your hands on, folks. Don't overcomplicate it. Go to yard sales. See if you can find flat stuff. I always look for stuff at yard sales. Go to Goodwill. There's usually like a wood section at Goodwill where you could find these weird, like, old slogans, live, laugh, love. Paint over that. Pinstripe that. It's a fun way to look at the world, right? You go through trying to find these thrifts that you can then hopefully turn into money. And I know I am in a unique situation because I know of some pinstripers that say, hey, I have a hard time selling my art. And, sometimes those are the same people that were questioning why I was making videos. They say, hey, what's the point of all these videos, man? I don't get it. Well, I'm able to sell my art now because I have 400 plus videos of me doing this stuff. And now there is a group of folks, some of you folks, that have been following me since day one. So you've seen my entire progress. And, I feel like sometimes you find people are kind enough to buy some of my stuff. So I really appreciate y'all. Sorry for the long-winded answer, and I hope you have a good day. Stay tuned because this is unfinished, and I am working on it. All right, bye-bye.